wake up, and even before your feet hit the floor, that familiar whisper starts. I'm not smart enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm just not good enough. It's a thought that can shadow your brightest days and dim your biggest dreams. We've all been there, that feeling of perpetually falling short. It whispers as you scroll through social media, seeing curated lives that look flawless. It shows up in the quiet moments before a job interview, convincing you that your best isn't good enough. It even appears in your reflection, telling you that your body, your voice, or your smile isn't quite right. But what if I told you there's a powerful, beautiful antidote, an ingredient so potent it can transform that whisper into a roar of self-acceptance? Stay with me, because today we're going to discover the power of a thankful heart. I remember the day a chance appeared, an opportunity for a position I had quietly longed for. For months I had been working toward it, staying late, taking on extra projects, and envisioning what it would feel like to finally say yes. And yet when the moment arrived to accept the offer, I stepped back. It didn't feel like a choice at first, more like a reflex. A cold knot formed in my stomach, climbed to my throat, and choked the words before they could be spoken. My mind raced with doubts. You're not ready. You'll be exposed as a fraud. Someone else would do it better. So I let it slip away, watched the opportunity drift like a butterfly and land on someone else's shoulder. When the silence returned, the words came, heavy as stone. I am not good enough. Those words followed me everywhere, through crowded rooms where I shrank into corners, through sleepless nights, replaying every mistake, whispering that I was smaller than everyone around me, that I would never measure up. This feeling is not unique to a missed job opportunity. It can show up anywhere. Just like with my friend Alex, a brilliant graphic designer who agonized over tiny details, convinced any imperfection would reveal his ultimate inadequacy. He'd spend an entire evening tweaking a single pixel on a client's website, unable to stop, paralyzed by the fear that it wasn't perfect. Or when he tried to learn guitar, and after a few fumbled chords, that familiar voice returned with a vengeance. You'll never be good at this. You're not talented enough. Instead of enjoying the process, Alex would compare his clumsy attempts to polished musicians online, instantly feeling defeated and wanting to give up. The joy was sucked out of everything, replaced by a constant, exhausting striving to be enough, a target that perpetually moved further away. Days turned into weeks. Regret clung like a shadow. I kept replaying the chance I didn't take. I watched someone else step into the role I once dreamed of, and each time a cold wave washed over me. That is proof, I told myself. I was never enough. Then one quiet morning, something shifted. Not outside me, no grand event, no sudden revelation, but in how I began to see. I woke not to the weight of worry, but to sunlight warming my face. It was a gentle, insistent warmth. I didn't reach for my phone to check work emails or social media. I lay still, listening to the steady breath of someone I loved beside me. In that silence, it said more than any words ever could. It was a quiet truth. You are here. You are safe. You are loved. That afternoon, I met a friend for coffee. We shared bread and laughter, Nothing fancy, yet somehow it felt like a feast. I was actually present for the conversation, hearing his stories instead of replaying my own failures in my head. In these small, unnoticed moments, I realized I had been blind to the treasures already in my hands. I was staring at what I lacked and missing the beauty that had never left me. A roof over my head, health in my body, the embrace of family, the loyalty of friends, the gift of waking each morning alive and sound. The truth is simple. A title is not the only measure of a life. Gratitude did not erase regret. It did not rewrite the past or promise I would never stumble again. It did something different. It changed how I saw. It was like taking a camera lens and shifting the focus. My mind had been locked on the blurry foreground of what was missing. Gratitude taught me to focus on the sharp, vibrant background of what was already there. It turned less into enough. It taught me that joy isn't locked in the things I chase, but revealed in the blessings I already hold. Gratitude isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about shifting your focus. When we constantly focus on what we lack, on where we fall short, we feed that negative narrative. But when we intentionally seek out and acknowledge the good, no matter how small, we begin to starve that voice and nourish a different one, a voice of self-worth and abundance. Here's how gratitude combats "I'm not good enough." It redirects your focus. Instead of comparing yourself to others, gratitude helps you appreciate your unique journey and blessings. You stop measuring your worth against external standards and start recognizing your inherent value. You realize that your unique path, with all its stumbles and triumphs, is worthy of being celebrated, not compared. It cultivates self-compassion. When you appreciate the simple things, you also begin to appreciate yourself more. You become kinder to your efforts, your progress, and even your imperfections. You realize that your worth isn't contingent on flawless performance. This allows you to say, "I am doing my best, and my best is good enough." It builds resilience. Life will always throw challenges our way, but a grateful heart helps you see even difficult situations as opportunities for growth, reminding you of your strength and the resources you do possess. It doesn't deny the difficulty, but it finds the small moments of grace within it. It fosters connection. Gratitude often involves acknowledging the kindness of others, the support you receive, and the beauty of the world around you. This fosters a deep sense of belonging, dispelling the isolation that "I'm not good enough" can bring. When the old voice rose, "Not enough," I gave the voice of gratitude a louder place to stand. I named what was good, right there in the moment. The warmth of a cup in my hands, the simple roof above me, the strength in my legs as I climbed the stairs. I began a simple practice. Every evening I listed 3 enough. Not the biggest wins, just what was truly enough for today. It could be the physical, a restful sleep, the warmth of a jacket on a cold day. It could be the emotional, a moment of quiet peace, the strength to get out of bed. It could be relational, a conversation that made me smile, a simple text from a friend. And each morning before the day gathers speed, I chose 3 looks. Places I would look for good on purpose. In someone's patience, in my own effort, in the way light finds a window. This practice became a muscle that strengthened with use. I started small and then I kept going, especially on the difficult days. What I attended to grew. Enough often arrives disguised as ordinary. Gratitude doesn't change the facts, only the focus. Remember Alex? Once he started practicing gratitude, that internal critic didn't vanish overnight, but its power diminished. He still had setbacks, but he began to see them differently. He found joy in the process of learning guitar, celebrating small improvements instead of demanding perfection. He'd be happy with just one chord that sounded clear. At work, he still strived for excellence, but with a newfound peace, knowing that his best was good enough. The shift wasn't in his external circumstances, but in the internal landscape of his heart. And for me, when envy visited, because it will, I learned to bless rather than compare. I'm glad for them, I would whisper, and I'm grateful for what is mine. It softened the sharp edges inside me, and strangely, it made room for courage to return. One day I did a small, brave thing. I sincerely congratulated the person who took the role I wanted. We had coffee, and I told how much I had admired the work. I was expecting to feel a pang of jealousy, but instead, I felt a strange sense of freedom. Then I asked a simple question. What helped you prepare? We shared notes on our skills. They pointed me to resources, and the person offered to review my next application. Gratitude had turned a closed door into a hallway of new ones I couldn't see before. It didn't erase the past, but it prepared me for the future. I began to prepare differently, without panic, without hurry. Learning a little each day, asking for feedback, letting gratitude keep my heart steady while my skills grew. If the next opportunity comes, I will meet it standing up. Not because I suddenly became perfect, but because gratitude has taught me to see clearly. And if it takes longer than I hoped, I will not waste the waiting. There is goodness to notice here too. Your worth isn't something you earn. It's something you already possess. The gratitude of a thankful heart isn't just a nice feeling. It's a powerful tool to remind you of that truth. It's the key to unlocking self-acceptance and silencing that voice that tells you you're not good enough. So, let's take a breath together now. In, slow and gentle. Out, slow and gentle. Name one thing you're thankful for in this very moment. Now one more. And one more. A door may have closed, but 1,000 doors are already open. Health to rise, loved ones to cherish, small joys to notice, resilience you didn't know you had. And when the next opportunity comes, you won't meet it with a sense of lack, but with a heart awake to everything you already are. If this counsel spoke to you, hold it close and share it with someone who might be carrying a quiet regret. Share it because a single act of kindness can change a life. If this video resonated with you, please like it so more people can find this message. Share it with someone who might need to hear it, that friend who feels they're falling behind, that colleague who's struggling with imposter syndrome. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that helps you live a more joyful and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching. May your heart be filled with gratitude, and may you always remember, you are more than good enough. You are wonderfully, uniquely, powerfully you. See you in the next video.